Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World tonight. Thailand is at the juncture of making a decision about easing restrictions in the second phase in coping with COVID-19. In the Thai PBS World tonight, Khun Thep Chaiyong and me talk to Dr. Thanarak Palitpat, Deputy Director General of the Department of Disease Control, and ask him to evaluate associated risk coming with easing restrictions.
I have a feeling that Bangkok has returned to the same old Bangkok as we knew. Traffic jams, a lot of people out on the street. So I'm afraid that you will need to keep saying what you have been saying all along. Don't be too complacent, don't let your guard down. I think that's what doctors are supposed to do. Keep reminding patients and people to take their medicines and not to be good with their conduct, right?
Right. I can understand how people has been affected by this COVID-19 because everybody, including me, and everyone I know has been affected by the virus. Whenever they evaluate the situation themselves and find out that probably now is safer than ever. So that's what they may think. But the truth is that this is still not that very safe. Everybody still have to realize there is some level of risk out there. That is why we including me, keep reminding everybody every time I have a chance that we still have to work very hard, and there's still a long ways to go. If we compare this with running, this would be something like a marathon. And we are just in the beginning of our very first few kilometers. That's all.
Not even halfway, you mean?
No. I would like to say some nice things also, but the truth is that we are not very close. We are in just the beginning of very few kilometers.
Dr. Thanarak, so far we have seen how Thai people coping with the restriction, trying to keep social distancing, wearing masks when go outside, and when meeting people whom we don't know, and try to wash hands as often as we can. So far, are you happy with what Thai people have done, especially during this period, because the government is going to review the details of second phase of easing restriction?
I'm not going to put all of the responsibility to any individuals, because some of the decision to do some things or not to do something is not up to them. Let's say if their companies said that everyone have to come back to work, then if I'm their employees, I have to go to work if I still want to keep my job. This kind of decision is not at the individual level. It is at the company level or at the factory level, or the owner of those places have to make some decision on what they want to do or how they would like to do it. There are still certain rules or certain practices that we would like for them to do. For example, if they can continue to let their employees work from home at certain numbers, certain proportion, that would be great, so that their offices will not be so crowded. If they can do some things, continue to do something, for example, if they can screen everyone coming to the office, that will be also great. And if they can ask all of their employees wearing masks at all times, that would be great as well. There's so many practices that they can do so that their employees can be very safe. And in the meantime, if their companies or if their places also give services to their customers, if they keep these practices, all of their customers will be safe as well. As situation go on, I believe that every customers will look for the service or the places that's safe for themselves as well. So it is a win-win situation for me. Probably I can say win-win-win, because the company also will win. The employees also will feel very safe, and probably will also help the company as well, and the customer will also understand the situation, and the whole society is also get benefit from what each and every one of us do.
Dr. Thanarak, you can be frank and straightforward with your answer to these questions. How much longer do you think that we will need to keep wearing masks and keeping social distancing and washing our hands as we have been doing? How much longer do we need to do that?
This is easy question for me. For work from home, I think this should be the norms for the future for the big city like Bangkok. Everyone, every company, every government, every ministry should try to ask or should try to set up the system so that every civil servants, every government employees, every staff of the government sectors should work from home as much as possible at any times, even when COVID is ended. Because work from home is benefit not just only for COVID, it's benefit for all of the respiratory diseases. It's help our environment. PM 2.5 will be better. Traffic will be better. We will spend less time on the road in the cities. So this work from home or remote working should stay, definitely.
And Dr. Thanarak, right now we see how many countries around the world are easing the lockdown, easing the restriction, and closer to us are new cases of infection in China, in South Korea. What Thailand should learn from this, especially these two countries?
What we can do is try to limit the number of cases to be at the lowest point as possible and keep it that low for long times. For the plan of doing this continuously, what we should do is that we should try to keep our guard on and keep our guard up and trying our best to keep the number as low as possible. We have already set up the guideline numbers for the government. For example, it is not a magic numbers, but just give you a rough ideas. For example, we may say that if we have the number of cases lower than about 5 cases per 1 million population per day, we are still okay. So those will be roughly about, if our provinces have 1 million population, it means that we can have about 5 cases per day. We will still be okay. So it don't have to be 0. It don't have to be 1 or 2 cases per day for the whole countries. We have some numbers that we can work with, but those are the upper limit. Those are the upper limit, not the lower limit. So what we should do is we try to keep our number low, and when we start to see our number go up, we should try our best to keep it lower than our limit.
That's all from Thai PBS World tonight. Thank you for watching.